never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's up, Crocodile Fleece? What's going on?
Man, the same as it is every day, man. It's all good.
That's right.
It's all good.
We're going to get right into it, man. We got a lot of questions and stuff out there researched and stuff I've been looking at. But, man, you've talked about fighting guards before. I don't think we really specified how you was fighting them. Was it you just throwing duty on them, or was you actually putting your knuckles up fighting?
Talking about knuckle up, man. That shit. Look, I get mad at the guards one day. I get mad at the guards one day because, you know, they treating all the inmates wrong. They keep dropping on us. You know, like when they run up to your cell, it's like 8 of them. They'll tell you, turn around, back up, be handcuffed. Now, we call the inmates to back up. We got to the point we start calling them pussy. If you back up, and then when they open your door, they gonna rough you up, slam you on the floor and all this shit, right? I got tired of this. I said, what we need to do is show them, first of all, we got you outnumbered, bro. We can outfight y'all too, you know. So I told everybody on my walk, we gonna fight today. We gonna spit in their face, I'll do something to make them run in on them. And you better not be handcuffed. You better make them, you better knuckle it up on them, right? Ain't no backing up, handcuff me and all that shit. Man, there was 19 cells on the bottom, 20 on the top. So that's 39 people that they got to fight today. So I said, cell 1, you ready? He said, yeah. He said, officer, I need to see you. So here come the guard. What you want? He spit on him. He said, well, we coming to get you. So they go suit up. So here they come. With the taser guns and riding shields, with the helmets and all this shit on. Back up to the door now. Everybody's listening. We told them, if you back up, we gonna whoop your ass. We get ready to fight these people, man. And they whooped him, you know, he didn't back up, but they kind of took him out quick, right? The next one, and I was in cell 8. They said, you next, police? I said, yeah, I'm next. They took a long break. They already knew, man, that I was the instigator of this shit. Johnson, I know it ain't gonna do no good to tell you to back up, but will you back up to get handcuffed? I said, no, I will not. When they opened my door, I went to them. You know, I already tore my toilet out of the floor. I swung it, boom, they backed up. Now I'm out there in the hall with them. They swinging billy clubs and shit, you know. And I hit one guard with that toilet, knocked one of his clubs out of his hand, so now I got a billy club. I said, it's on now. They said, all the inmates is looking at their door, everybody shaking the door, get him, police, get him. You know, I'm swinging, I'm rushing them and all that, and they panic. Now I got a taser gun. I shoot one of them with it, right? And then I chase, man, they took a break. They didn't want to do nothing else. They waited till the shift changed. Now the new shift changed. They say, police, let me talk to you. Look, we don't want no trouble, bud. Whatever's going on with the last shift, we'll work it out. There ain't no work shit out, man. We ready to fight. We made them fight off. This shit went all the way to the next day, man. They called the truth. I wanted to show the inmates all we got to do is stand up, man. And I seen time where, like, Nemo took a can of mace while I was chained to the bed naked and put on some gloves and put some lubricant up my crack and sprayed that mace all up in my butt because I threw duty on it. I told him I was going to get him. 3.5 years later, they let me out of the hole. The first day out. And they used to have these shovels, big shovels, leaning up against the wall and shit. They don't have it no more because I stopped there. I grabbed that shovel and popped him right in the motherfucking head with it. So did.
How much time did you get for that?
2 years. That's God, like when I fought Lieutenant Gill, I mopped him. I'm talking about mopped him with these, man. Lieutenant Gill was so nasty that even the guards didn't like him. And when they heard that I mopped him, they didn't even file charges on that one. It was a lot of times I just walk up to a guard and pop him. And like when these white guys and the real racist ones, right? They was locking up one of their leaders, right? Had him in handcuffs. And all his little buddies, they was standing there. It was one guard had handcuffs on him. He waiting for some more guards to come. Back up. I walked over, you know, I had some tobacco. I'm going to take to the hole anyway. You know, I'm looking for a way to get it in over. You know, pick a fight with an inmate, but I seen a better fight right here. Especially these white dudes, I'm going to get brownie points in their ass too, right? Cause I knew dude was hot. I've been hearing about, you know, his homebrew and he got dope and all this shit, right? You know, we hear about certain things. So he might got something on him. So I walked over. The girl said, "You back up now." I said, "Shut up, bitch." Popped him. Whooped him. I said, "Man, take dude around the corner, man. I got this bitch." Then here come every guard. Dude went around the corner and somebody picked that lock, a handcuff on him. He was straight, right? I ended up in a hole, right? But while I'm over there, and these white dudes didn't even mess with blacks, right? They sent me letters over and then sent notes over. "Hey, Fleece Johnson. Hey, little dude said thank you, man, for, you know, he got you whenever, just lay down, man. Whatever you need over." And so I'm in. It cost me some time in a hole and all this shit, right? Then here come that guard, the same one I whooped. He worked my walk one day. He said, "Johnson, even though you kicked my ass, I'm going to make you my walk janitor if you want to be there." I said, "Why?" He said, "I want to know why you did that. Why did you jump on me?" I said, "Look, I'll be your walk janitor, but get this straight, right? I jumped on you because of who you are, right? You're a guard. I'm an inmate." I said, "That's the reason."
Let me ask you.
But I used to fight them. Man, I fought guards. If they said something wrong to me, I'm like, I'm not even going through this argument shit. Walk up on him, smack him. You know, I was known for doing shit like that. This shit that you won't expect. You know, I'm just so unpredictable. So when it comes to me, they were like, they come for real. When they say go talk to Fleece Johnson, it's no more just one guard. It's always like 4 or 5 come. "Hey, Johnson, warden won't talk to you." I look around, look at all 4 of them, and they stopped. Maybe one of them could have took me out, but, you know, they think it's going to take 4 or 5, so. And I go talk to them. But I was known to fight.
But you always said that they think it's going to take 4 or 5. You know, it's been record of them running into your your cell having a hard time with 8 of them. So why would you say one to take you out when they done already experienced that?
Man,
You so crazy, they knew they needed more.
No, they didn't know who they... Look, these girls that they hired, I ain't gonna lie. These country, hillbilly, mountain, whatever you want to call them, they come in there cock strong. These is people that eat organic food all their life. They got strength like bone crushing strength. And I know it. And see, but what they don't have is a lot of heart. And a lot of them come in there and work at prison. Really, a lot of them was good raised guys. But you got a lot of them coming there and think they going to have an attitude towards us because what we did in society, right? They think their job is to make life in here miserable. It ain't your job. Your job is just to make sure we going to do our time. That's it. And we're going to obey the rules and regulations. They go beyond that sometimes. And that's what caused me to stand up for rights and stuff, and my rights in particular. So I had to fight girls, and then to win support from the inmates, see, you know, to get the respect from all the inmates is the inmate that fight girls. You know, them is considered our enemies. They like the police, you know.
What fights did you almost give up that you was fighting and you was losing, or?
Man,
because you say you never lost.
No, but I seen fights that I should have lost. Like when I fought Lil Money, he's out of Lexington. Lil Money was weighing 300.
Yeah.
He works out, when he lifts weights, he starts off with 600 pounds. Lifting that twice. And so he's strong. But me and him, our second fight, when we got out of the hole, and I told him this dude, Billy Gully, he told me, don't let him walk up on you. So he said, hey, Fleece, we need to talk. So I said, man, it ain't nothing we got to talk about. You lucky you got away with what you got away with so far, right? He said, well, it got me paranoid. I said, that's your problem. He said, well, we're going to have to do something, talk or fight. I said, let's fight. Took my shit off. He took that nigga, look, this is 300 pounds of a goddamn bird coming at me rushing, right? And we got a football team out. He play on the football team, all this shit. I had speed, man. And I said, so we in like a little, down by the gym, man. It's a little passageway, man. So I went to the left on it. He's coming in from the left, so I can have plenty of room to jump to the right, right? This man's a bird. So I'm throwing, so with every one punch he throw and miss, I'm able to get in 4 or 5, right? You know, real quick, because he too big. To, you know.
Yeah, you wasn't that quick.
Man, I was, look. I was quick. And I'm popping and moving. I'm backing up. I'm backing up more than anything, right? He's rushing. Then I circle around him. And then, it's usually a technique I used to use when I box, man. I let the advancer, you know, back me up a little. Then after 3 rounds, I start backing him up. That's how I know how to broke his spirit, right? He ain't as confident as he once was. But it wasn't working on this big dude, man. He just rushing and rushing. And one time he almost nicked me right here on the head, and I felt that little lump. Man, it felt like a brick. And I said, boy, if he hit me solid, man, I'm on the ground. I already know it, man. You know, and then my chest would start burning, man. I'm about ready to just bend over to, man, you win, man. That's where I was at. I was getting ready to say, hold up. But he threw one punch, and then ain't like he get ready to rush me. I just went in, I hit him. That was my last punch, man. I said, if this shit don't work, I'm done. And he rocked him like that. And then I jumped up and hit him, crossed over with that right. And he hit the ground and he started laughing. He said, I can't believe it, Fleece. Good punch, Fleece. Good punch. Fleece put me on my ass. Like, and then all his people ran down there. They said, you all right, man? He said, yeah, man. He got up and gave me a hug. I was fucked up.
Why you trust him to come up and give you a hug?
I didn't have no more fight in me.
He could have did whatever he wanted.
Whatever the fuck he wanted, man. I was done, man. I was done. And I won that. And then the one was Raymond Stevenson. Man, I ain't know. I had to try him because he smacked me. That nigga smacked me so hard that he took the skin off my face. It was stuck on the palm of his fucking hand, man. It felt like motherfucker hit me with an iron or something, right? And he did this in front of people, man. And it's like, you got to fight this nigga. You hear me? You got to get him back, man. Fuck that. Nigga, he sucker punched me with a smack. That's worse than a bitch smack. The motherfucker pulled.
So your reputation didn't mean nothing to him?
Nah, nigga, motherfucker, man, you got motherfucker in there was aching at times, wishing that they could fight me because I'm winning, and they thinking, well, he's winning, but he ain't fought nobody like me. He need to fight a motherfucker that can really fight, all this shit. And when I went back for him, man, I ended up winning. And then Donnie KLT, they call him the jawbreaker. Every time he fights, he breaks shit, right? And that motherfucker hit me in the head with a broke-ass boot, and we went to wide. And when he swing, that nigga swing his punches is so hard. He swings so hard. That first punch, man, he caught my arm, man. He caught me right there in the arm. I felt like that nigga broke my arm almost, right? It felt like, man, I said, goddamn. But I use that as a block, right, to get my left in, right? And I got a left hook, man, that is, it's on point. That motherfucker, I swung that motherfucker with all I had, man, because I know, man, if I miss and he hit me again, he gonna break shit, man. And I got him, right? So, but them guards, I used to fight the guards, man. They know me for that. I would stand out and fight them.
What kind of training was y'all doing? I mean, at some point, y'all had to do some training.
Well, my training came, they had one dude, when I first came to prison, his name was Hiawatha. He was out of Cincinnati. And he was a 6th-degree black belt in karate. And his hands was registered as concealed weapons and shit. And but he had a karate class. And we used to go down there and I said, I'm gonna have to learn something in these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers in here is fighting for real to kill. I need to learn some skills, right? So I went in his karate class. I ain't staying on there for about a little close to 90 days because he wasn't really training motherfuckers. He was trying to use us as punching bags to train himself, right? He said, stand there. Now I'm gonna kick. I'm thinking the motherfucker gonna just kick and stop the motherfucker and shit and pull back. Saying, and tell me what's the name of the shit, right? I'm standing there like an idiot, man. He said, don't move and don't blink or nothing. I said, ugh! That's when we ready. So, motherfucker said, he said, you ready? I said, shit up! The motherfucker said, bam! Kicked me, man, knocked all the wind out of me. I turned back 2 flips. I said, oh, he said, now, did you feel the impact of that? So I ain't want to say nothing, folks. So I'm getting kind of mad, right? Cause I'm like, motherfucker,
You weren't gonna be able to do nothing with him. You get mad all you want to.
No, listen. Let me tell you something. Let's fast forward this. I quit the class.
After 90 days.
Close to 90 days. And so I'm running my mouth about it on the yard. You got instigators out there that like to see motherfuckers fight, right? They run back to him, tell him I'm talking shit about his teaching and about how he's training us, and that I believe he fucked that one boy that was in our class, and I think he trying to make sisters out of it. All that, they told him all this shit. Here he come. And then when I seen the dude that some of the ones I was talking to trailing behind,
you already knew what was up.
I knew what was up, man. I said, here it goes, man. This bullshit, man. So, this motherfucker gonna come in here with all this jump up kicking. I don't know how to defend with this shit, right? So I say the only thing you got to do is remember, when he run up on you, he gonna talk first. He gonna tell you why he gonna kick your ass, all this shit. Don't even give him a chance to do it right, cause he ain't gonna be ready for you.
He should be able to block it though if he's.
Nah, he ain't come to block. He come to talk first, then go through all that.
I know, but if his instincts are right and he's so quick and so
yeah, all
good,
that shit. I can't even hear little friend just sat there waiting on this motherfucker, right? I said, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna walk away, cause he gonna say, hey, I need to talk to you, all this shit, so I'm gonna act like, but when I turn around, this motherfucker's coming hard, right? You know, I'm throwing this motherfucker with all my might. And so he walked up the step, I'm under the pavilion in the penitentiary, and he said, you, come here. I said, who you talking to? I balled my fist up, laid my head down like this, turned sideways. He said, you want to run your mouth about? I said, look, I ain't got time. You know, I knew how to do it. I said, I ain't got time to hear that bullshit. You know, that was debate, right? That I said, I hear your weak ass shit. Everybody said, ooh, all that, you know, agitating and shit. So I felt him step up a little more, man. I said, I ain't got nothing to say to you, man. When I felt he was in range, he was saying something, I just spent, and that motherfucker came, man, so quick. And he was just in the right position for it, man. It just landed like perfect, right? I broke his jaw. Yeah, he went down. Out. Everybody say, oh, goddamn, Fleece just knocked out, what's your name? Fleece knocked, what's your name? Same way I did with, Rooster. He owed me some money, and they get me locked the yard up, and he's out there running his mouth to some black guys, and he's a white guy. He was a sissy, right? But his man was Mac Morris, right? And this motherfucker, they say he was a killer. Mac Morris was considered a killer in the penitentiary. So I don't care about all that. So I say, hey man, while you over there running your mouth, you can be getting my money together. So he came out with some smart stuff. All these black dudes is all around him and stuff. He said, he said something, then he made a statement where he said, you would rather hit your mama than fight your mama than fight. There was something about my mama. Just the word mama came out of his mouth, right? And he's white, you know, running it in front of these black dudes. I popped him one time, knocked him straight up. It went viral. And how Fleece just knocked out Rooster. He knocked Rooster out. And so the next day, when I come out for breakfast, Mac Morris was standing there with Rooster. And so he came up the hill, I stood there. You know, and my fist is balled up, so, you know, I ain't gonna tell you it's foul. No, I'm just gonna swing when it's foul. When you get that certain distance, I'm throwing them. He said, I ain't coming to fight. He said, how much he owe you? I said, he owed me 3 boxes of cigarettes, but now it's 5. Cause that's interest. So he called a white dude up there. He said, I'm gonna give you 6. He said, is it over with? I said, yeah, as long as it's over with him. He said, all right, Fleece. And that was it.
You trusted that?
Yeah, I trusted that. You got certain people in our man, well, you know, like the time when I fought that Larry dude, that white dude, I bust his head because I know he was getting ready to get me. I know he was. You get them type of certain people, and if you have an argument with them.
Because you see the way they dealt with other people, so you know what they said they're going to do it.
Yeah, and he was racist too, man, and he's like, them white dudes was part of the Proud Boys, man, and like, they took pride in not letting a black person whoop them or trump them on shit, right? And that's what, they took pride in it. I knew his type, right? And when he apologized to me, I spit in his face. When he called me a nigga. He called me a nigga. I said, look, man, it ain't even got to be about all that. He said, well, nigga, like when he said it again, I spit it. And reached through there and kind of punched him a little through the bars. He's on the other side in the hallway. So I know when we come out in the morning, it's on, man. Ain't no... I ain't gonna stay in my cell like a punk, right?
You never did.
No, if I gotta fight you, I'm coming. I don't give a fuck what's after your name is on it. Come out of your cell. And just like, let me give you an example. Leslie Pope, niggas' hands was dope all through the penitentiary. Lonnie and Leslie Pope was having a relationship with Jules, the sissy. Everybody knew it. Then motherfuckers fight, go to the hole, fight other people. The girls know they better not mess with either one of them. You gotta fight both of them. So Pope and Jules done got into a situation where they at each other, arguing, fuck you, bitch. Nah, nigga, you know, all that stuff. So he went up there and spit on Jules through the bar. Pope was a walk man that day. So when he was walking away, they argued. Jules said, you keep on, I'm gonna tell Lonnie that what you told Bobby Wallace. Bobby Wallace is the black union administrator over the whole. See, Lonnie was getting weed in off the visit. Then he got busted. But according to Jules, Pope is the one that told Bobby Wallace that Lonnie was getting that in so that Bobby Wallace can bring him out as a walkman every day and shorten his time in the hole. So Lonnie said, Jules, leave me out of that. Me and Pope is, as my dog, I like both of y'all. So Jules said, shut up, stupid ass nigga. How do you think you got busted? Who you think told on you? Pope told, yeah, Pope, you scary ass nigga. Now tell Lonnie. And Pope blowed up. He said, you goddamn right I told Bobby Wallace. But I bet you bet nobody on this walk called me a rat. I said, ain't that a bitch? I said, you a rat. Now I'm in it, right?
Yeah, why you do it? Why you?
I did it because how he put it out, right?
It had nothing to do with you though.
When he said nobody on this walk, that include me. That put me in that. So I said, you a rat? So he said, who was that? I said, it's Fleece. He said, you know what, Fleece? I put you on to pay me no man list because I know you crazy anyway. But nigga, if you want me, you can get me in the morning. I said, I'll see you in the morning. Fuck all this old screaming shit like you gorilla or, you know, all this shit. So the next day, I come out, I'm in the last cell. They always put me in the last cell because I'll spit on them and I'll throw shit on them. So when they open all the doors, everybody come out, we come out the war. So Lonnie steps out. He done took newspapers. That nigga's so scared. He done took newspapers and tied it around his arms all the way up here and tied the newspapers around his body.
He must know you packed knives or something.
Not me. I ain't packing shit. Nigga, I usually come out, you know, I have something, you know. But he thinking it's going to be cause me and Pope is going at it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be and then he had his legs and all that with magazines tied around his legs and shit. It looked so ridiculous, right, that Pope bust out like, we all bust out. It just took the fight out of everybody, right? It was like, he said, Lonnie, nigga, all the motherfucker gotta do is just push you, niggas, all this shit, right? You know. He started laughing, and so he ain't have no more beef with me, man. And cause Pope know I get with him for real, man. He knows I will, right? So, but Pope done won a lot of battles in right? Oh man, he done knocked out so many people, man. But we couldn't. Big E knocked him out. Big E out of Lexington.
When you get knocked out, do you lose credibility?
No. Depends on how it happens, right? Like if somebody challenge you and you go fight him, right? And he end up knocking you out, you get more credit.
Because for even fighting.
Yeah, for fighting, for standing up, man.
Okay.
Even the motherfucker that knock you out gonna, hey man, you know, we cool, you know, shit like that, right? But if you known as a fighter, it takes credibility. Cause like when I stepped on the plate as a fighter, then I'm putting myself on the same plate as the fighters in the prison. All the real fighters, you know, the strongest fighters and stuff. So now they see me on that platform where they on. These motherfuckers go hard, for real hard, man. But I'm on the platform and they like, all right. But now, everybody on this platform, we fight different from the people not on the platform. Like, for instance, they might have a fight where we see two people going to the hole. I said, what happened? They said they had a fight. Everybody bust out laughing. Because that's what we call a kindergarten fight. The fights we get in, somebody got to get stomped out, knocked out.
Hurt
Real bad, killed. Just fuck the hell up. If it ain't one of them, if somebody say one of them white guys I know, JD and them, Bobby Bruce, if they get in a fight, you know it's bad. Somebody they done locked the yard up. They done locked it down, or they got ambulances or fucking shit coming inside the prison. So, and that's the platform I was on. So I knew that all my fights, you know, it's gonna have to have all that elements in it, man. I can't have a little cat fight with nobody. If I fight you, it's gonna be a bloody ass fight, man. It's gonna be somebody getting fucked up. And so you cannot, once you're on that platform, you know, you ain't on that platform to lose, man. You get knocked out, everybody on the platform gonna walk past you like with a smile, like, you know, nigga, you got knocked out. You know, get off the platform, nigga. You know, so you got to win your battles, man, at all costs. So
what, once you get put on that platform?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think prison made you a better criminal?
No, criminal stopped me from being a criminal.
Prison.
Prison did. Stopped me from being a criminal. It didn't make me a better. The only we only got like in the penal system we got two. We got the federal and the state. The feds is considered the house inmates with intelligence, criminal intelligence, right? They the ones that do the checks and the fraud and all that bank jobs and
White collar crimes.
yeah, that requires intelligence, right? Some sort of education and stuff. Now the state inmates is always considered nothing but just loose raps. You know, people that come up with a plan, don't even have the basis of it and all this shit. You know, not as smart as so it's nothing you can really learn in out of state prison from inmates. Whatever you learn is got to be from your experience and you know what that done taught you, what you done got out of that experience while you was in there. But usually in a state prison, man, ain't no state inmates got that intelligence, man, like the federals to teach nobody any damn thing, right? But something stupid, right? So really, in prison now in Kentucky, I don't know about other prisons, but in Kentucky, inmates usually just go to school, take up a trade, something. I read books, right? Every now and then they socialize with people, but they don't tell number one stories about how what they did on the streets and all this shit. Ain't nothing you can learn from in no big game. So if you learn anything in there, it's gonna be based on what you went through in there.
So so there's nothing in there that makes you. I think I'm thinking what I'm asking. So if you in a certain crime, you get locked up and you talk to somebody else, you don't think they can give you some type of knowledge?
Nah, they knowledge in the state prison usually come from they have every week, man, they have religious groups coming out, you know, in the church and walk the yard talking to the inmates. And a lot of them, you know, they come in with good advice. You know, they want to know if you know Jesus and teach you about respect, you know, and take care of your family responsibilities and shit. And sometimes people look, you know, the want to change is already in the person's mind when you know you done messed up, man. You done sacrificed a lot and ended up in the penitentiary, right? And you don't want to come out the same way, right? But you got people in here look at you as a gangster, you know, nigga in the hood, street nigga and shit. You want to change that, and you looking for, you know, you ain't gonna get it from them because they talk the shit every day, you know. So you looking from somebody coming in on one of these religious tours or something like, or somebody that works in the prison, and then talk to you. Then people see you change, and you ain't walking the yard with them no more. You now got books under your arm, and you reading, and they respect that. A lot of them do.
So I think you just explained what I was actually here to ask you. So do some inmates secretly enjoy control and power prison gives them?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because I was thinking, I was like, you know, some people in the street, one thing about selling drugs, besides the money, is the control and the power they're able to gain over people.
Yeah, you always look for control and power, man. And see, like, prison is just a different society. It is a society, but it's different from the society out here. In that prison, we on the rules and regulations, what they tell us, right? And then they have control over our food and all this. And so we in a different society under different rules and stuff, right? And so out here, y'all deal mainly with laws and regulations and stuff. In ours, just rules and regulations.
In there, the threat is the whole. Out here is
the
losing
whole,
your freedom completely to jail.
Well, we look at it the same way in our. In prison, once you're in general population, you consider free, even though you're a prisoner.
In your mind, you consider free.
Yeah, in the prisons, man.
Okay.
Yeah, prisoners, man. And like when you go to the hole, that's considered jail. How y'all got jail out here. And you got people, man, why you keep going to jail, man? Why don't you stay out here with us?
That's how they actually talk to you?
Yeah, enjoy your freedom out here with us, man.
Wow.
You know, and that's how you talk, so you get out of the hole.
Maybe that's one of the problems then. Because that's not freedom.
No.
Being in general pop.
I don't know, man.
Shit, y'all if you in prison, there's no freedom in that. So I guess.
That's how they talk. When you come out of the hole, you got all your dogs out there waiting on you with canteen sacks.
Shut up. Like you coming home.
Yeah, you coming home, man. And give you everybody hugging you, man. Stay out, man. Enjoy your freedom out here.
It shrinks your mind to that?
Man, I'm telling you, yeah, that's how they are. And
that's amazing.
Man, yeah, it is. And so when you go to the hole,
when you go to jail,
yeah, you get letters from everybody, right? You know,
like you left the streets, though.
Yeah, like you done left the street. Telling me why you do that, man. Why you do that, man? You had everything going good for you out of here and all that. You know, you needed help, man. You should came to us. And so that's how they look at it. Then you get visitation from the legal aid. You know, the legal aid get to come to the hole.
As your representation.
Yeah, but he bringing you, it's like a visit, right? He right there standing in front of you, say, yeah. He said, well, so what's going on out there? I said, man, you know, everything, you know.
So he's giving you information.
Yeah, and he'll tell you stuff like, if you want to know what's going on, get your ass out of the hole. Get out of the hole. Everybody's out there waiting on you, man. You know, we bending over backwards to help you while you over here. You know, but Fleece, we living a life out there, you know. And what's your name just got him a job, and so-and-so got a, you know, talking like you get jobs on the streets, right? Prison jobs and stuff. So, man, when you get out, man, here's the groundwork. And when you get out.
Where you get that from? When was the first time you went to the hole and somebody said, man, we want you out here free with us and y'all still in prison? Who told you that?
The inmates.
That's an ongoing thing. That's a known thing in there. That you can be in general pop, and when you go to the hole, that's called jail.
That's jail.
I wonder who made it up. That shrinks your mind.
We in a different society. You know, and then we get visitation, right? Like if they know you real cool with somebody, he can go to the water and request, you know,
request to come and see you.
Yeah, and they'll let it. Yeah, and you be out the loop, man. I just came up here, the water let me visit you, man. I just thought I'd talk to you, man. What is wrong with you? You realize what you throwing away your freedom?
Is it a goer there listening to this, or
no? They let you talk. They got speakers, you know, they record everything, right? But if they wanted to, but they don't do all that unless it's a real something they trying to find out. Right?
I've been curious about something because I done asked other ex-inmates this question, and I don't know if I've ever asked you. Should people that commit violent crimes get a second chance?
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna tell you why.
So hold on, let me break it down for you. So if you had a child and somebody killed your child, you would be able to tell yourself that they deserve a second chance.
I kill it. He ain't getting shit from me.
Okay, I just asked you a question.
Yeah,
does a prisoner that commit violent
yes,
crime?
he does.
Well, you just said what you would do to him, so you're not giving him a second chance.
But listen, let me tell you why it's important to listen. Like I said, there's a difference between the truth and all the truth. You know, a person, I can cheat on my wife and tell you, yeah, she can find out, and yeah, it's true. Well, what makes the difference is knowing why. And why has always made a difference in any story. Why?
I'm not gonna care why you do that to my child, though.
Now, the why part. Now, it ain't what you did to the child. The why is on the second chance. Not what happened to the child's on the second chance. For whatever reason, we have a constitution and laws and we have religion. For the reason we have it. And going through this life, I see the importance of both. But I've been in prison and I done seen people in that prison that, true enough, they made a mistake. True enough, a violent crime mistake. But I done seen the transformations in man. I done seen, there's a difference. There's some people that commit crimes because they just evil. You got some do it because they just following somebody else. They feel that they should do it and live. You know, they got to do it and live, right? But you got some people, you got a class out there that is just evil. When it comes to murder, killing, it is something that they desire to do, wants to do. But you got a lot of people that just make mistakes, end up doing something, and it leading to a murder. Now,
what's the justification for that?
Ain't no justification.
Oh, okay.
Period.
Because I asked you a question, and you gave me your answer, and then you contradicted it.
No, I'm gonna answer it like that. You got people that can change. We all go through this life, man, and it's the main thing we do in life is we point fingers at everybody except us. You know, we don't point the finger at ourselves. We point at everybody else. They mistakes, what they did, what should happen. And we go through life doing things and nobody, and we don't want nobody pointing at us. But we point at everybody else, right? He's wrong, she's wrong. How could you? All that shit. So the bottom line is,
should they? So you saying they should get a second chance?
Yeah.
But not when it comes to messing with somebody in your family.
No, they should get a second chance, regardless if it's my family or whoever family, right? Despite what I said, right? You got some people that feel people shouldn't get a second chance, you know, and we see a lot of them working in the penal system, you know, police force. They don't believe in they are trained to kill. They are trained not to tell you to put your hands up. They ain't trained to shoot you in the leg. When they shoot their guns is aimed at your upper part of your body, from your head to your chest. Ain't no aim before that. A lot of them shootings, they could have shot somebody in the leg, man. Seen somebody, you know what I'm saying? But here's the point. The point is you got people that can change, man. You got people that make mistakes. And I've seen some great people in the penitentiary, man.
I know, but you don't tore that question all up.
Yeah, I did, man. But I put some common sense to it.
And that's why I asked you, because it's a difficult question.
That's the whole purpose of them having a prison. That is the main reason why a penitentiary was put up, because we didn't have prisons at first. We had jails. Old hit town jails were, and every town had a jail. Shit like that. And every felony people in America just don't know, this new generation just don't know that right here in this country, every felony was punishable by death. If you commit a felony, your punishment was death. That used to be the crime in America when they didn't go by the Constitution, you know. But then when they changed that, some religious people told the lawmakers, man, why don't y'all put up prisons like they got in other countries and let us go in there and try to reform them? You know, putting people to death for stealing a cow or a chicken or trying to get something to eat. No, we ain't with that. Y'all was hanging them, killing them, public hangings. So they got their stuff together, man. So we living in a generation now where everybody's supposed to know that all have sinned and fell short of the glory. And taking that into account, we try to make provisions and ways for people to, we don't want to be a stumbling block in people's path to finding salvation. From changing their life from bad to good, right? We don't want to be the stumbling block preventing that, right? If anything, the encouragement should be there to change, you know. And so, and that's why I feel people deserve a second chance, man. Giving them opportunity, man, to, we all ask for it, and most of us done got it in our life. You know, second, third, fourth, fifth.
No, for violent crime, though.
You talking about violent crime,
yes.
Now.
You talking about in general.
Okay,
I'm talking about violent
in
crime.
In general,
yeah.
I'm gonna add violent crime to this in general. There was a time in this world where every wrong that a person did fell in one category. Sin. That's it. It wasn't no criminal names put on nothing. You know, everything was considered a sin. That's why one sin was no different than the other, right? You know, you can prostitute, that was just as worse as
okay, take the religion part out of it.
Now, hold on. I'm leading up to something. I'm gonna take it out of there, but people start categorizing sin, separating it. Well, this ain't no sin, this is a crime. That's where crime came from. Okay, then when they got to the crime, it's like categorize that.
I think that's where laws came in.
Yeah, well, this crime is not as bad as this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So they categorized it and they replaced it in categories, right? You know, what we all know wrong's wrong, period. You know, you got some people you call committing a violent crime, okay, and they go to prison, murder. Then you got people out of here that don't go to prison, but they are committing, in to me, sins that is just as worse as the murder. You know, that they trying to judge this man by what they think they deserve a second chance. When they sin and do the things that they do. Just like we got, like the Epstein file, you got a lot of people, how can a president, Clinton, he was sitting in the man's hot tub with his shirt off, man, face all red and shit, you know.
Allegedly, I don't remember
I seen the picture.
It could be fake.
No, it came on regular TV. It came on the 24/7 news, not YouTube, 24/7 accurate news report. And he was laid like this in a hot tub with his shirt off, and you can see the red in his face, which means he was intoxicated. But the question they didn't ask him at the hearing, when they he testified, they showed him the picture. The question they didn't ask him was, were you naked in that tub? And what make you take your shirt off anyway?
He was in a hot tub.
Yeah, I said, what do you have on up under? I would have made him answer all that shit, right? Because I know in my heart, man, he did his thing, girl, right?
All right, let's
But
move on.
anyway, let's move
Let's
on.
move.
But the point is, people deserve second chance because, like you said, do to others as you want them to do to you. You got people like us. I done did all kinds of wrongs in his life, and I remember a couple of times I told God though that I don't deserve no special treatment, right? And treat me like you do anybody else.
Do to
right?
you as he will, huh?
Yeah, but that was added righteousness on my part, right? For me to do that, I wasn't like the person that says, look at his crime. I look at his sin. Well, look, what about mine?
You getting hung up on religion again. Let's go to this next one.
Okay, I get hung up on a lot of stuff, man.
I know.
But this podcast is about being truthful. And now, I don't have nothing really to do with how other people go through life and what they think. And whether they apply religion or not, right, to the daily life, right?
Well, we try to teach people too, so you got to kind of think about other things too. But let's go to this next one. Are some prisoners safer in prison than they are in the free world?
Yeah. You got some people go to prison to be safe because they done did certain things on the street. We done talked to certain people, man, where word was coming in that dude done went out on the street, he done robbed certain dope men and stuff, and people looking for him. And the only way he can hide, they getting close to him. His only hiding spot was going to penitentiary. He went to, they go to prison, man, and when they in there, they know how to navigate where they won't end up in the prison where people would know they robbed their people on the street.
But they could end up in a prison, not know that they was kin to somebody and be right there with them.
But usually they go to prison and hide prison and save a lot of people. Man, that's usually the main talk in prison. Just sit down and somebody will sit there next to you and tell you straight up, man, this place done saved my life, Fleece. And if I never came here, I wouldn't even be alive right now. All this. You got people that go to prison for sanctuary. Yeah.
Even if they're running from drugs, I guess they go.
Man, it's a lot of things they running from, and they don't mind going to prison.
You've answered this before, but I want you to answer it again. What is the real power structure inside prison? How does that pyramid go inside? Who's the real powerful people in prison?
The powerful people in prison is the ones that got jobs. Just like out here.
So it's not the gays like you said before.
Oh yeah, they gay. Yeah.
All of them's not gay.
Let me put it to you like this.
What are you getting frustrated for?
Nah, I ain't frustrated. I'm putting it to you like this, cause, to sit here and tell you about prison, a place I done did almost 50 years of my life in, and you never been there.
Mm-hmm.
And for you sit there and tell me.
Oh, you done read the comments again. I get it.
Now, I'm reading your comments just now. That you just said, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, I do. The power, if you talking about power in prison, you go to the truth. The gays, they got the power. They got power. But they get their power from the working people in prison.
The only thing I said that I wasn't gay, so now you're explaining what I just said.
Yeah, but listen to me. when I left that prison, and this is true, and what you can say, man, they all engaged, all this stuff, right? When I left that prison, the prison system, I was like, I couldn't in truth say it about nobody.
You couldn't say that everybody wasn't gay?
Couldn't say it, man. I done seen so much in her, right? All the ones that I thought wasn't, right? They ended up was, right?
But you don't know for sure, is what I'm saying.
Now, what I'm saying for sure is I've seen so many gays in prison that I never thought was gay, never could. Nobody even come close to bringing that to them, right? These is the people I'm talking about, the ones that, man, I would probably took a bullet before I would believe that they was into anything gay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found out they were gay. You know, I found out they were gay. So when you see so much of that, then you see them in all shapes and sizes, right? Clean shaven and with beards and mustaches and big Hercules bodies with muscles bulging, just bulging it all out of their neck and arms, and people they look like they just came out of wars and shit, right? Victorious, gladiators, gay. And when you see it, you be like, what the fuck? You know, and damn.
These are guys with a lot of time or doing a lot of time?
Man, these are guys that the lot of time stuff applies to a lot of people, but you got some that in over 6, 7 months, all this shit. They just gay. And This is the ones that be around you every day talking like in voices like,
How you doing out, Fleece?
I said, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How your family?
Oh, man, I ain't heard from them in a while.
Oh, well, I'm going to pray for you. I saw you at church the other week ago, and I was proud you came to church, Fleece. You know, God needs people like,
They'll talk to you like that, right? And every time you see them, it's always something positive, right?
hey, how you doing? Look a little sad today. You remember what Jesus said in the Bible?
And they'll come like that, and you be like, man, I don't even know how he even end up in prison,
Right.
So good, and you see him helping people.
Hey, what is it? Hey, I pray for that. I pray for that.
All that stuff, right?
That's his game.
Man, they talk all the Jesse Jackson, Malcolm X talk, all the more.
Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. He just passed away.
Yeah, I know. More science and all this. And then you'll walk, you'll feel good about him,
Like he's one of the good ones. Okay.
Yeah, man, he ain't gay, nothing around there,
Is that something you look for though when you talk to people?
No, you shit just pop in at you. You ain't looking for shit, and shit pop out, man. You just be walking around and walk up, and I walked up, saw him taking one, and man, the dude, it was a white dude. Now this dude, black dude, was talking to me all this positive stuff. He always talk all that old positive black man talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a white dude that is pumping his butt, and that white dude was throwing it, man. He was just hard. I mean, like he was trying to turn his booty hole out, right? And he just pumping them hard. And he enjoyed it. I said, I want him to see my face, right? I want this motherfucker to look me in the eyes when he see me, right? So when the dude come in, I said, he snatched it out. His thing came out and was still shooting, right? And dude turned around and looked at me. I said, I'm gonna make an expression. I said, and then he looked me in the eye like that, and so about 3 days went by, and I said, here he come down the loop. He said, hey, police, can I talk to you? I say, look, Miss Thing, look, you can freeze all this, so can I, all that deep voice shit. I said, man, I didn't know you was a girl. He said, you wasn't supposed to see that. I said, I ain't supposed to see what? And I was sitting there laughing there, right? But you'll see so much of that, just like when I was boxing, man, me and John Brent, right? John Brent, big old dude, man. He like super heavyweight, right? He said, you ready for these? I said, come on, Brent. Let me give you a workout, man. I need one myself. Put the gloves on, wrap my hands, and I said, what we gonna use today? 14 or 16 ounce, workout, and he said, man, let's use the 12 ounces.
Nah, he gonna beat you to death.
Nigga, I can fight, right?
Oh, that's your range, yeah.
He was the type that every time I hit him, see, here's what you don't expect in prison. I was hitting him all in the face, bro. Hard. Excited him. He did something that embarrassed me so bad in the penitentiary. I never been embarrassed like that all my life. I talk a lot about my left hand, right? When it connects, it never, ever fail, right? You out of here.
Mm-hmm.
When that motherfucker connects, you out of here. When I shoot that left off, man, and I hook off the jab and shoot that out there, I hit him with that left on everything. People around the ring, there were a lot of inmates around the ring, right? They want to see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I'm going to flirt with Big John Brent, right? I said, come on, bro. I went through all that old stuff, shoot my punch, going through all that, I shot that left out, bam! He turned around, he threw one hand up like he was done. I said, that's it. On everything you think it's a lie, he pulled his Ding-A-Ling out and hit it 2 times and shot.
What?
Yeah.
In front of everybody?
Everybody. Everybody said, oh, man. Oh, man. He said, come on, let's go another round. I said, is this nigga crazy? Nigga, I ain't boxing you no more, freak ass nigga. I said, what happened? They said, man, he's a pain freak. You got them in there. You got people.
So they knew it?
Yeah. You got people in there that you can hit and think.
Oh, wait, hold on. You mean to tell me you got all these inmates around the ring?
Around the ring.
You hit him with that left. He put his arm up.
Like he was done.
Pulled his Ding-A-Ling out.
Hit it 2 times.
Hit it twice and shot, and all them, and you sit there and watched it?
Yeah. I'm like fucked up. I'm looking at everybody running. Oh man, look at it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like trying to register this shit, man. Did this happen?
He was in shock.
Yeah, and he's like, you ready for another round? I said, hell no, nigga. Freak that nigga. I told him, Glow, I dropped out of the ring. And,
I ain't never heard no stuff like that before.
But it happened. You got freaks like that in there. You got people that, you can go on and think because you got hands. I got hands. Somebody say something to me. They want you to hit them. They want you to, what would it feel like to hit somebody that'll grab you and hug you? And you can't even move, you feel all that strength. They got strength they set on, man. They set on that strength. Locking arms around you like that.
I didn't think you could say anything.
And tell you to calm down.
I didn't think you could say anything to me at this point that had me.
But it'll make you, now, if you know yourself as a man of strength, a person that can probably get out of any hole, or a person that ever try to put you in as you was, you know.
Yeah.
And you know the level of your strength, right? But somebody, you hit this man, and then he just grab you like that and hold you, and you can't even move, bro. And you saying, and you feeling his strength now, right? And it's like, and he's talking to you, calm down. Calm the fuck down. You can't do nothing with me. You know that by now. All right? Now let me hear you say it. Let me hear you say you can, okay, I can't do nothing. And let you go. And you up against that type of stuff, you know.
So he know he can do whatever he want with you at that point.
No, he ain't gonna do shit, whatever he want.
I mean, you can't, if he grab you, you get out of it, he know he can just grab you.
Yeah, if he grab you, it's over. They got him like that in prison. But I learned one thing. What you got in your heart, right? Now, yeah, they got me, they stronger than me. I seen people that I know can whoop me. Ain't no, just cause I ain't lost a fight, I know there's people in there would dust my ass, bro. I mean, smoke me, right? If I fought him the way he preferred to be fought. Mm-hmm. You know, straight up, right? Mm-hmm. I watch them lift weights and all that shit and work out, do all that karate and shit. I think they good.
So you would sit back and watch them train and lift weights for your information.
Yeah.
So you can know what you need to do if you ever came across
I watch everybody in there. I watch a little everybody to see where they at, right? Cause if I ever got tangled with them, I know how to come, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna fight him with these. I'll stab him. I'll bust his head. I'll get the first lick and kill all that shit. So as long as I put that in my heart, as long as they knew it, about me, Fleece ain't gonna fight me straight up. He gonna stab me or he gonna pop me in the head with something. I know Fleece. Once you generate that in them, then, you know.
They not messing with you like that.
Nah, they ain't gonna mess with you, period. They gonna respect you, right? What's up, Fleece? How you doing today?
Plus, you was looked at being crazy anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Motherfucker to do it, and you gotta put that out. Even if you ain't crazy.
They know you gonna go 100, so.
You ain't got no choice. They'll make you go 100.
Let me ask you this. What moment, I want you to really think about these next two questions. What moment broke you mentally in prison? What moment?
It was a moment when this Captain Travis, man, that the Department of Correction, they were looking for somebody that can break me, calm me down, and all this shit. So they went to the military and they hired Captain Travis. He came out of the unit, special unit that dealt with interrogation. That was his unit, interrogation, special ops interrogation, where they catch the spies and enemies and make them talk. See, and he been doing that for 20-something years. So he's an expert. He just ain't with the branch of the military anymore. So he comes into the prison. He told me straight up. He was hired to break me. And we went at it. And so his technique was painful. But I had a way to deal with pain, right, mentally. And so it got to the point, man, that last day before I was ready to give up. Man, you done took me through enough, man. You done had my eyes where they couldn't shut. They done had orders to throw ice cold water on me anytime they think I'm trying to go to sleep. And then they come in there and, interrogate me more. And then he'll have his hand handcuffed to this bar and his hand handcuffed to a portion of the bed, and then his leg over here, handcuffed in back, all that stuff, man. Then one time he handcuffed my wrist to my ankle. You know, had me down like that. Well, the wrist was to the ankle. I can only do that, you know. And so I said, this man here is using everything the military gave him, right? I'm defying him. And right at that last moment, that last day, I'll never forget it. He came around that corner. I sent for him.
You was great to tell him, I'm done.
I'm done. You win. I'm done. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf, man. And he turned that corner and took a pack of Camel 950. That's what he smoked. Took him out and did like that and went like this. And he left my cell, went out there in the hallway. Around the corner, I said, oh shit. I said, oh, uh-oh. Somebody's heart ain't right. You hear me? So he came back around the corner. He said, what is it you want to see me about? I said, I want to tell you this, old man. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to bust your goddamn heart.
And
right?
you seen that in that little...
Yeah,
you was ready to tell him, I'm done, you got me.
Yeah.
But you seen that one little thing.
That one little thing showed me, man, it changed the whole course of the war, man. And then he didn't listen. And what I told him was going to happen actually happened. His heart busted right there in the penitentiary. And they said that while he was in the military, the nurse said some scrapture or something got in his heart. And he always had a hole in her or something like that. Something. I don't know the rest of it. I didn't give a fuck about it. But me and him fought, man, and I explained to the guards because I know they wanted to know how I felt about it. But that's the time you don't fuck with them because they looked at him as a hero and they'll die for him for real. And I said, well, I had respect of him, and I did. You can fight an enemy so long, man, where y'all respect each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that comes out of that. But he lost.
Now this next question.
He lost.
This next question, I want you to concentrate on answering too, because I know for a fact that it's something that happened to you that, I'm gonna ask you the question, you just tell me. What moment in prison made you realize you might not never be the same person again? What moment?
At that day when they had me 4-pointed, cause I was like bad, you know, I cussed them out and all that. I wasn't real bad, like towards the guards.
Now, understand what I said. Never be the same person again.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, if you listen. At point where when they were asking to be put in a clean cell, man, they going to put me in a 4-point cell, strip me naked, put me on a solid steel bed, handcuff my hand to the bed and my feet to the bed, handcuffed. And I'm spread eagle like that, naked. And it's hot as hell down there, about 130. Sweating all over me. And wake up with flies, man, about 500 flies in the crack of my butt, man, like a vibrator was up there. I never felt so disgusted, so degrading, so just, it killed. I say I would never, ever be the same. And when I came out of us, when I went through that shit, that's when I said I'm going to get every one of them back. You know, I was throwing buckets of duty on them, man. Everybody in there, man. And did that for 6 years flat. But it changed me, man. It changed me, man. It took me from a person who was just really fighting protesting to a war. it took it from a protest to a war. And
It still affects you today.
yeah, it does, man, because if a fly land on me, nigga, I go like ape shit almost, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
So you still got mental trauma and
yeah,
stuff
I
from
got
that.
trauma from that shit there, for real.
I bet.
I can have a fly, you can have my food covered up, and motherfucker just fly on the top. I mean, I ain't eating that shit. You know, my man go all the way back to the penitentiary and shit, man. I mean, that little episode having, and I was in that position for about 3 hours, bro. Flies, about 500 of them, just in the crack of my head, just buzzing. And every time I move, they go deeper. Like they was fucking my ass or something, right? And I was like, I'm handcuffed and shackled. There's no way I can get out of this shit, right? You know, and I'm not going to squeeze my butt cheeks and kill them motherfuckers up in there and have all that blood and shit dripping out. It'll make it look like they just tore me apart, right? Just fuck me till I bleed or something. It had such a mental effect on me. When I remember when they let me up, when they backed me to the door and took the shackles and shit off from me, I stood there, man. They left, and I stood in that spot for about almost a half an hour. Couldn't even move, man. My butt was still vibrating, a little like, and then you can, some of them, they still in the cell, they still trying to, now I can move them out, right? Don't even know if I want to, right? And I sat down, man, a tear came out of my eye, man. I felt like, I said, man, these white motherfuckers, man. I said, boy, they just don't know what they just unleashed in me right now, boy. You give it to a beast come out of me, man. I don't care if I never get out of penitentiary. I don't care what happens.
Was that the first time you said, I don't care if I never get out?
Yeah, it was. I don't care no more about nothing. Inmates, anybody, right? And so, I went to war, man. And it turned out, I got them. I got every one of them back there. I still feeling good about it, right? And so, then it came a time where I felt disgusting, man. I mean, what grown-ass man would sit there and play a little bucket of shit, you know, just to throw it on somebody, but that's prison life. And so, when it was all done and over with, I won.
What's the biggest lie ex-inmates tell people about prison, you think?
I would say, I don't know. But I would say one of the biggest lies they tell in prison is...
No, the biggest lie they tell people.
About prison.
Yeah.
I would say.
You said it before. I think that's one of the biggest.
What? That they ain't gay?
Yeah, that they never do it.
Yeah,
right.
They didn't indulge. Yes. Yep.
I say that's pretty big.
I would put that as one of the number one.
To get out here with these women and you done been with men in there and you ain't told them nothing.
No, they ain't gonna tell them. Because you got women now that been with women. A lot of women done been with women now. A whole lot of them, they ain't telling. And so, but no, dudes ain't gonna do that. They gonna feel like they gonna get out and go to the barber shop, get their shape up, get their hair cut, lean on somebody, get some money, go get them a couple of outfits, and put a little money in their pocket, use somebody's car, and go pick up a girl, go visit some, and you out? Yeah, I'm out.
You sound like you done it before.
No, I'm saying I've seen them do it. That's how they do it. And then they'll get the girl and you glad to be out? Yeah, I'm glad. Then she got a little brother or something. What was it like in her? I wasn't shit. They
should have told them the truth.
They couldn't hold me. You can tell about the shit he was holding, right? And Ding-A-Lings and stuff. So.
What's the most violent thing you ever saw in prison in your 40 years? If you got to rank one higher than the other, the one thing.
The one thing I seen, this dude's name is Monster. White dude. He looked like a monster. Looked like Boris Karloff. All this shit under her is black under his eyes. That's from all the medication and drugs and stuff. His name is Gary Dale. They call him Monster. That's the one that walk around and he buys people's socks, dirty socks, so he can masturbate off of them, know. And so he give you $50 for it. If the dirty, you got some real dirty socks? Big league, I'll give you they so the way I like them, I might give you $80 for the socks. And you say, hey, man, he'll give it to you in money order or canteen, right? But he cuts himself. He is one of the major cutters that ever came through that prison, right? And he stood in front of my cell one day, and I thought I done seen it all, right? Blood and all that well, it ain't nothing to me. Man, he took that, he said, Johnson. I said, what? He came out for a shower to go outside. Get in your cell. He said, fuck you. He said, Johnson, you want to see something? I said, what? He had a razor blade. He done put a piece of tape around it where it won't slide off his hand. Stuck it in his shoulder, pried it in our way, got in her real deep. Well, about that long, he made sure all of it was in her. He said, when he did that, I was like, oh, God. It just laid open like blood. He shot everywhere. The guard was like, oh, my God. Oh, get the nurse. Oh, get everybody. Get everybody. They couldn't do nothing with all that blood, like. And I seen his man just his ugly face and that shaking. And when he got at the chill, he said, like that. I said, oh. That was the craziest, wildest, something I tell myself.
That was the most violent thing you ever seen?
Yeah, the person do it himself, but the violent thing I ever seen is what I did.
The most violent thing you ever seen is what you did?
Yeah. I whooped this dude, man. And I didn't want to fight him. I let him put his finger in my face like this. Get in my face, say I should spit in your face. All that stuff. Talking to me like that. I'm trying to ignore him. He's from my city, man. And so he had a little reputation on the streets too, shooting and money and girls and all this stuff. So when I got to the point where I'm getting ready to fight him now, he pressed it. I took a ring off of a mop bucket, a steel mop bucket, not a plastic steel. They got the steel ringer where you pick them up. Took that out, sharpened it into an ice pick, right? Made me a little handle on it.
How did you do it? I always was interested in the process of it. You took some steel and sharpened it, on the concrete walls?
Yeah, they concrete, the prison's concrete.
Don't they see the marks in there that you...
It depends on where you're going to sharpen it at.
Well,
right?
where did you sharpen it at?
You pour water over it, take the white out.
Okay. All right.
And
I was thinking. I was like, how the hell you have
water,
okay.
Oil.
Okay, I'm with you.
And it'll take that white scratch off of it, And
you sharpened it and put tape on it, you said?
No, a sheet.
A sheet? Okay.
Yeah. tied it right there, tied that in, then went a wrap, real tight wrap, real tight, real tight, real tight. Then you tie this in the back so it won't come off right and sit like that in front. And so I had that. And then I took my toilet and broke it and took that white porcelain, and that's just like concrete, harder. Put it in a sheet, fold the sheet up 4 times, put it in there real good. Real good.
Oh, you was gonna kill him.
That's my whole intention. And so I tied it real good, made me a handle, you know, good. So I'm ready. At first lick, I hear him. His body jumped up in the air like he shoot a deer or something.
Where you hit him at?
In the head. I took it.
You was right in front of him and hit him in the head?
No, he turned his back, give it a walk out.
Oh, Lord.
I was pow. He popped up in there and hit the ground. So I took this little pick, that steel pick, man. Ice pick. Like, it's worse than an ice pick. And went to jamming him. Then I pop him, jam him, pop. You ain't getting off this ground. Pop, jam. Blood everywhere, everywhere. He's screaming. I'm pop jamming, popping in. I kept trying to shut his mouth. I said, now you want to keep running that big mouth, right? I kept trying to stick him in the mouth, pop him in the mouth. I'm going to break his mouth. I'm sick of your mouth, right? And so...
Oh, you went crazy.
Yeah. And like I say, I was on the palace, on the platform where all my fights from here on out can't be a girl fight or a cat fight.
It got to be a fight can't nobody come back from.
Got to be a fight where the people on that platform, you say, see, you still got it, you know.
So what did, who stopped you from, because you sound...
stopped. Somebody said, that's enough, man. So the girls are getting ready to come, man. And so go on and clean up, man. So I gave my picks to one guy and took my clothes off, and another guy gave me a new set of clothes to put on.
So people really do that. Like, I seen that on TV.
Yeah, he ripped all the shreds of her, flushing stuff in the toilet and stuff. The other dude hid the other thing, right? And so everybody stood by themselves, right? We all got clean clothes and shit on. Ain't nobody got blood on their boots or nothing, right? So the girl comes, everybody in their cell. So we walk in our cell, then here come the nurses, here come the ward, and here come guards, stretchers. They put him on a stretcher, the nurse trying to talk to him, trying to ask him, the guards ask him who did it, and all this shit, he couldn't even talk, right? So I'm listening. He better not say shit. I don't think he can talk. I'm sitting there watching. He said, who did this to you? Who did this? Give me a name. Give me a name. I said, ah! I started hollering, ah! I said, I'm going to disrupt it because he might say my name, right? So I kept hollering, ah! They said, shut up, you know, before you get, I said, I'm already in the hole, so ain't no more you can do to me, punk. Ah! Ah! So they had to get him off the wall. They couldn't ask him no more questions or nothing like that.
You never heard from him again?
Yeah, I did. I get out of prison.
Oh, you ran into him on the street?
Man, this is like 18 years later. I think I ain't never seen him no more since then, right? My PO told me I gotta go to a AA. I said, I ain't got no drug stuff on my, they said it's part of our policy. We think all crimes is drug related. Whether you been convicted or not, you got to go. So I went to an AA meeting, and this big white girl, she came to sit at my table. And I don't know nothing about all this stuff. All these crybabies coming in here crying and stuff, right? Feel sorry for me shit. You know. and he sat at the table. Me and her was talking, he just sat at the table.
Oh, he could have did something to you.
No, that's what he said. He said, I don't forget nothing. Nothing. And got up and left. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I looked at her. She said, you know that guy? Did you know him? What was he talking? I said, shut up, man. Hold on. I got up, walked outside. I said, okay. I could never be afraid of him because I'm the one that whooped him. If anything, be afraid of me. I said, he's acting like he's not. I said, now, he ain't got a gun because if he did, he would have used it. So what he came to do is to tell me that he's afraid of me, still afraid of me.
That's what you got out of it?
Yeah, he's still afraid of me, and he's going to get something. He ain't got it on him. He's either going to get a gun or he's going to go get somebody where he can say, this is the one that fucked me up. Because he got one eye now, right? I took his eye out and all that. And so I was like, now I can play the superhero type and act like I'm not afraid of nothing. Bring it on, all this shit. I said, no, I ain't that dumb. I know he's going to either try to find somebody to give him a weapon or somebody that'll ride with him.
Oh, you got one somewhere.
No, yeah. I believe if he had one, he would have went and
No, I mean, oh, okay.
He would have got it first. He wouldn't have just ran up on me like that. But he seen me and remember. And then I thought about it. I said, after I done whooped him at bed, you would think it would have changed him.
What you talking about?
Yeah, it would have changed him. It didn't do nothing, made it worse.
Yeah, you want some get back.
We ain't gonna get it, not from like that. So I left, man, and I talked to my PO, man, and I said, you're gonna have to tell your PO, man, you know, this situation.
Look, hold on.
I don't have to mention his name, but
hold on, you telling again though.
You can call it what you want to call it. I know.
Stuart, I see Stuart Little again.
Look, I say, look, man, I went to the AA meet, man, and this situation came from it. And I don't feel good about, he said, well, find another AA to go to, right? This was at the Ice House. And so I had to go to another one, man, and it's the same thing, and I just don't like sitting in there. It made me realize stuff, though, because I talked to a girl, and she was talking first, and she said, I passed to the new guy. Didn't even know who the hell I was, right? So I say, look, man, I only came in here because my PO asked me to. I ain't going to take up your time, man. I know y'all got to, do y'all meeting. So she hollered, hey, man, you living in denial. We are family here. We come here and we tell the truth, man. And I said, shut up, Rita. She said, how you know me? I said, I know you, your sister Gigi, Deborah, Deidre, all of them. And your mama, they write all them poems and stuff. And your dog, Caesar, at Big Dome and Pincham, we used to walk together every day, me and you. She said, man, that's what I'm talking about, this stuff that just messed my head up. She was on crack or something, lost some memories, all this shit. And it made me realize that my time in prison, 40 years or more, is nothing compared to what people was going through out here while I was going through stuff in there. It don't matter where you were, man. I said, damn, they going through it like that out here?
On drugs.
And, but that's true, though.
What was the most dangerous day of your sentence?
The what?
The most dangerous.
When I threw that stuff on that guard and they brought them dogs in there.
That was the most dangerous?
You don't know that feeling, man.
No.
Standing out there in the hall, you know you don't put a guard in the hospital. You know, them guards look at that like you.
Was he the warden or a guard?
He just became a warden. He was just getting ready to become one. And he just making rounds to let everybody know he's the new warden. Now you ain't. You up out of here. And so I got him, man, but they brought them dogs and that's the first time I seen the dog inside the penitentiary.
I ain't never heard of that.
No. And when they let him go and said kill him. That dog was coming to, man, I thought I was going to die.
So that's more dangerous than when the warden shot you?
Yeah, them dogs, man, I can't even explain that feeling. The shoot thing, you know, you just feel a burning. You know you've been shot, but it ain't. You can walk and walk away and all this shit. This dog shit, 2 of them came in there. And then the guard tried to knock the mattress down, hit my hand with the, one hand with the billy club, cause I'm holding the motherfucker up. Then I had to do like a hold it, then I had to switch it without the drop, and then the dog trying to get around me, man. They come to kill. And I know they get hold of me, man, I'm gonna die a brutal death, you hear me? I fought my way out of that, and so, but that was a dangerous moment. And my, the most dangerous in one.
So you put that over any fights?
Any fight, anything. I have never felt like that in my life, man.
What moments made you lose trust in everyone around you in there? What was the day you was like, I ain't trusting here on out, I ain't trusting nobody else in here?
Yeah, when you see all the inmates that you hear as gangsters and cool, you see them suck dick and you see them snitch.
Setting up the friends and stuff.
Setting up people and you know they done it, you know. So that takes away all your little gangster stuff, right? All that gangster stuff, man, is just something, it's like something people trying to live that they ain't, right? And then the betrayal, and then when you see the guards, you know, like, even though I fought them, what made me fight them more is that I growed up to try to respect law enforcement, so to speak. You know, even though I broke the law, man, I still had respect for them. But when you see corruption on a large scale, when you see the people in office, the people that is running the system, do corruption and be the architect behind a lot of violence and stuff, racist shit, and they architect of it. And then your family and stuff act stupid on the street, then people that you thought were cool ain't cool no more. And you see it, our betrayal on a real large scale, man, you be like, not so much as I don't trust nobody, but I'm not hanging with nobody. But I ain't trusting me, really. You know, you see so much, I seen people set their friends up, people come off the street, man, and his friend been in prison. He made a mistake not sending his friend no money and all that shit. He ended up in prison. Praying set him up, man, to get his butt taken. You know, told the guy, man, said, yeah, I go get him, man.
What kind of person just doesn't make it in prison that you seen coming there and you knew he ain't gonna last in here?
The big mouth. Them ones that come in there and just constantly want to run their mouth, right? People ain't feeling that shit. I mean, you in there for motherfucker snitched on you and all this shit, and family problems, your girl leaving you, your kids is out there going through it, and then somebody coming out with their mouth, right? And I hear it all the time. Hey, man, why don't you shut the fuck up, bro?
That's what they say to him?
Yeah. And then we try to, sometimes that's when they ready to fight. Now, the ones that is ready to fight.
What you supposed to say when somebody say it, though?
You're supposed to say it like this. Hey, who's that down there? Yeah, it's me. What's up, man? Hey, look, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and you know, on this walk, man, it's a lot of workers and stuff on this walk. We go to work early, man, and it's usually a quiet walk, right? Well, we go.
So you be respectful to him.
Yeah. Now,
What if you say, man, forget all that?
you don't say nothing else. You do exactly that. Forget it.
Okay.
And tell them out, and you turn them up.
What if you don't want to fight tomorrow?
What?
You just leaving it alone.
No, ain't no leave shit alone. He's coming up out for that walk. And you got people that got money now, they paid all the motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that ain't got no money, family don't sit in no, they walk around look, hey man, police.
They're going to do whatever you want them to do for some money.
Yeah, for, send him some noodles, some coffee or something. Who is it? Yeah, I heard, I got him, And dude come out of his cell next day, and 2, 3 people be popping him in his face, knocking him down, stomping him and shit, right?
For some noodles.
Yeah. Running that big mouth, man. The big mouth, man, you come in prison, you better be able to back that mouth up, like if you come in, I ain't seen nobody to go and say something, you walk up on and go and steal it. Everybody say, man, this dude's loco, they know you about your shit, right? It's just you. But if you coming out talking shit and motherfuckers know, man, come on, man.
You ain't got no action with it.
Come on, man. Hey, bro, I don't know who you are, man, but I'm trying to lay down and get some rest, bro. I would appreciate it if you can respect that. Kind of tone down. I ain't asking you not to talk, but just tone it down. Who is that? It don't matter who it is. I'm asking you, can you tone it down some? Nigga, you ain't gonna talk to me? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. But usually don't get to that. Usually they lock in, they go crazy when they come in the hole. They got metal tables. You hit it, it go boom. So you got these young guys coming in and want to do all this rap shit. They get on that table, boom, get a beat.
Yeah.
I said, who's doing that up there? They said new guy just came in, man. They call him Tone Lip. Okay, Tone Lip. Get this message to Tone Lip. You tell him how sew that lip up, man. I don't think he gonna, man, y'all know what's gonna happen if he don't, man. Somebody better talk to him. They'll talk to him, then it'll be quiet. And yeah, motherfuckers just saying the same thing. That's what gets me, they rap, just saying the same thing. You don't want it like this. You don't want it like this. And just keep beating and saying the same thing over. Man, shut the hell up, man. Prison is crazy, man. I'll tell you, man, you got all kinds of spirits in there, man. All kinds of behavior problems. Everybody's surrounded with each other.
All criminals.
Yeah, we don't know what you done in your life, man. You might be over, I'll say, what's up, big bro? You dead. And you got your own shit, I got mine, right? I look over, I see you, your hot pocket said Steve coming out of big brother over cooking. And you look over at mine, nigga, mine's gassed up too, nigga, I'm gassing. And that's the respect we see is consistently, right, from week to week, so then you'll speak to me, hey, police. I said, yeah, big bro. Who you like on that game tonight? I said, what game? You'll tell me. I said, who you don't like? I give you the first win, right? To break the ice or talking and shit, if you win, right? And you say, I like what? I said, what you giving up? Shit, I give up 3. I said, I'll take 4, make it sound interesting. You said, I give you 4, and I already know you're going to win. Anyway.
What angle are you working, though?
Angle is a relationship, bro. Relationship, getting to know the person who's across from you and letting them know who you are, man.
Yeah.
That you solid, he's solid. That's how it's gonna work, man. He ain't gonna have nothing bad to say about you, right? You know, and like your people might be waiting on you to go in front of the classification committee to classify you to they walk where you can be around your. So and when that happened, he said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I seen you on the move sheet." He said, "Yeah, man. They moved me up around my people, man." I said, "All right, big bro." I said, "They gonna come down and help you with your shit?" He said, "Yeah, they come and help you move and shit, right?" All right, Fleece, man. Nothing but love for me, bro. You know, and then it's something we learn about each other is that, like, if you have a problem, like, I already know you. Now, you might send a word down on my wall telling me that somebody just came down there and owe you.
Uh-huh.
You know, and what type of person he is, and this.
Oh, you building your network.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. Connection, network, man. Get respect from people, man.
What's something that inmates fear but we'll never hear about out here?
They fear that people will find out how they really act in prison, man. And they fear that. They don't want people, man, they ain't as tough as they appear. In the eyes of the court, they look, oh, he's a monster. As of the family.
I mean, but it do be men that come in there and be monsters out here, and they monsters in there too. They don't?
That shit is Hollywood shit, man. Them motherfuckers. You'll see the breakdown once they enter the prison.
Unless they'll be a part of a gang if they causing any problems, though.
Yeah, why you want to be a part of a gang? What's wrong with just you? I did. You know, it don't take 8 people to make a man out of you.
Yeah, but if you going against a gang, don't you want to be a part of a gang?
Mm-mm. You got to know how to create your gang, man. Your name will get you what you need, right? Like, if you solid dude, like I done sailed across from you and all this, and I seen what type of person you are, man. You don't fuck with people and all this shit, right? I done checked you out. Ain't no bad rap on you. Ain't nobody saying you a rat or nothing like that. You solid, man, from all I done heard, right? And so you move up on another wall, then I heard that, you know, you motherfucker get ready to try to gang up on you or shit, right? You don't even have to call them. I'm there, man. I said, what's up, man? Oh, man, I think I got some problems. I said, we got some. And you see my team come up, right? People that, you know, if I need them.
But you're not part of a gang.
Yeah, and I say, you know, it's just people that you got resources, they like resources. You know, everybody got them, you know, and I could be in the hole and you be on yours, somebody can owe you and run to the hole, think he done got away, right? And you send word over, yeah, man, write me a letter. I just hope you get on out of the hole, Fleece. But old dude coming over and yeah, man, you ain't no good. That's all you have to say. I take it from mine when they put him on my wall. I check him out and see what I get out of him, right? And so I either send him back out there or I get your money from him while he's in the hole.
What mistakes can ruin a person's entire prison sentence? One mistake that can mess up your whole bit.
Ratting, snitching.
That's the number one thing.
That, getting caught, sucking dick, taking it in the ass by people that didn't think you was like that. That ruined, that killed you. Being letting a sissy whoop you.
Let me ask you this.
Let a sissy whoop you.
Let me ask you this. They always talk about it, and it's something I wanted to know about. They always say, okay, the homosexuals are the guys that participate in gay stuffs over here in this section. And you know, the gangsters or whatever, the gang members, they got their own little spots.
Yeah.
How did you always end up? You might have been different, but I'm still gonna ask it. How you always end up fighting the quote unquote main people if you in this section over here with the gay people?
You got sections in ours like this. You in the general population. You ain't really, however they consider it is how they consider it, but it's all one section. Ain't no different section.
Okay.
It's just like, they might come out and see a group of y'all sitting over here at y'all little picnic.
Do you sit with other gay people at the time?
Yeah, I don't go to nobody's table. They come to mine.
Okay.
Now, in the kitchen, it's different. Now, on the yard, you can get your little picnic tables. They got picnic tables all over the prison. You go get you a table if you can find one, and you and your crew set over, right? And now, the gay people know they can walk past you, hey, Lee John, Big Lee, whoever, and you gonna say, and they keep walking, right? How you guys doing? Y'all say, hey. And they know not to stop.
Okay.
They know not to stop because this little crew right here ain't with it. But they speak, right? And so, but I was the type of person, I can stop at anybody's table. You know, here comes Fleece, man.
The serial killer, gang members,
members,
white supremacists, everybody.
When I go to the serial killers and all them, I had names for them. I call them names. I said, hey, Friday 13, Pinhead, Jason. I said, who you? I said, I think of a name given, Freddy Krueger, all this shit. And so they know I'm gonna say it. And just like one dude, he killed his wife, black dude, killed his wife in front of his daughter. Two of his daughters, twins. They saw they daddy kill their mama. And he went to prison, and now in prison they got a dog program where give a dog a second chance to a good family. So he had this little dog. He walk around the prison teaching tricks and all this stuff. And I said, what kind of dog tricks can your dog do? He said, shake down. The dog threw his paws up on the wall and he petted him down like he was. I said, oh, okay. I said, I'm sure that's useful. But he turned around and said, Police, if it weren't for this dog, I'd probably crack up right in here. He said, my daughter told me I'll never get to see my grandbaby ever because, I killed their mama. So I looked at him, I said, so if you expecting some sort of sympathy shit out of me, you got me fucked up, bro. He said, no, Police. I said, no, let me talk, man. What you did, yeah, it was a bad thing. Kill their mama, and you can't expect them to even want to even be around you ever. Maybe somewhere in their life when they get spiritually reborn or something, they would want to reach out to you. Until they reach out to you, you shouldn't be reaching out to them. It's bringing up what you did, right? They got to live with that. But you got people like that, man. Prison is But do I think he deserves a second chance? Yeah, sure. And you start realizing you get older, second chances ain't even mine to make. That's come from the Lord, or God, Jesus, the Bible, second chances and stuff. Whether you think a person deserves it or not, you don't want to condemn yourself, right? If I deny this man a second chance, hey, I might get denied one.
So what is the scariest night you ever experienced in prison?
At night that them guards came in my cell 3 in the morning. They had me down there by the death row. No windows down there. I'm on 15 walk. That's where the lecture chair is at. And I'm in a death row cell where they put you in before they execute you. They separated me from all the other walks because I was fighting so much, and they feel that I was the one leading all the other inmates to fight, right? So they figured they could put me on a walk by myself, right? But they had other things on that agenda. They ready to kill me now. They just don't want me on the walk where somebody can say, we saw it. We saw what they did to this man, right? So, about 3 in the morning, man, I heard somebody at the door, and I looked up, and they had hoods on. Everyone on pillowcases, whatever the hell you want to call it, over their head, man. Well, they cut eyes out in it, and had a flashlight shining up at it. So, I just woke up, I thought it was I was dreaming or something. I said, what's going on? They say, we come to take you home. I said, where's home? They say, hell. Another one spoke up, said, hell. And you ain't gonna talk your way out of this one like you talk your way out of so many other things, right? I said, is that right? Boy. And when I said that, took one of them off, and he shot that taser gun, right? Boy, when that thing hit me, I went right off the bed, but I went into a roll, right? Because that thing's hooked on a wire, right? You go into a roll, you can snap that wire, right? I say, this shit is dead serious. This ain't no dream. These people's coming to kill me for real, right? And there was a steel bar under the bed that was welded to this bed leg and welded to that bed leg while they had the bed welded to. I grabbed that with all my strength and pulled and snapped that weld, and I tore it off the weld thing. And I ran in that door before they could open that door, man, and stuck that thing through and stuck one of them in the shoulder. They said he got a weapon, and they ran. I said, man, these motherfuckers get ready to kill me, man. So when it came around 6 in the morning, the lights come on. I'm in there breathing hard, so here comes this little big teeth thing, the big teeth I could never get. He said, breakfast time. Peace out like that. So I'm looking at him like this, because, I just went through some traumatic stuff here. And I know he know about it. He said, you want some milk? I said, if I say no, then they gonna think I'm scared. They don't. I said, yeah. So I took some milk. I'm looking at him. He said, why you look? I said, man, was you one of them? He said, what? I said, well, were you one of the motherfuckers that try to come in all it? He act like he had no idea, and he probably did, because he probably went on break. At the time they decided to do that, they stay on break like a half an hour and all this shit. And I told him about it, though. He laughed and went on and brought my food tray. And I ate this shit. But I said, lay down, get out from down here. I'm going to find that, if I can find out who was in that little clique, I'm going to try to kill him.
Did you ever see the injured guy that you
Yeah, I did. His name was Rollins. And we got a prison farm next to the prison. They got inmates there, guards, that's where all the animals and stuff is at. I'm in a maximum security. Now, the prison farm is like 30 miles away. They put me up on this wall, and somebody already told me about his shoulder, right? And I seen it. When he made his round, I said, yep, that's him. Cause I remember what side, I was stuck it on, right? Yeah. And so I had a steel water drain cover, about that fat, it's still, it goes into the, I took the screws out and I had that. So I'm standing in the back of my cell like that. I said, I'm gonna sink this right through this motherfucker's head. I'm gonna make it stick in his goddamn head, right? They said, here it come, Fleece. So I was all the way back. I hit it in the throwing mode, right? Soon I seen that motherfucker. I threw that motherfucker. Just barely missed him. But I threw it so hard that it went through the bars and hit the wall and stuck in the wall. So you can imagine if they had got him, he quit. He quit that same night. The next day, they say that girl quit. What do you do that to that officer for, Fleece? I said, why he quit? He quit. He knew I knew who he was. I didn't know the other ones though. That's the thing.
How did you continue to? What kind of mind frame was you in to know?
You got to overlook it. See, a lot of things is done psychologically to take you. If they can't destroy you physically, they'll try you mentally, psychologically, right? They'll play games that's supposed to put you in a paranoid state, right? And from paranoid, you go crazy, right? You be looking around. I seen people go crazy. People that thought that one dude that killed some people in the 70s, I locked him in jail, and he wanted to know if I had a camera in my teeth. All this, he was so paranoid, right?
Wow.
And so he dead now though. But I didn't let the little shit they say make me paranoid. Just like when they spit in my food that time. All that stuff ain't gonna make me paranoid where every day I'm gonna be like, I don't know, but and run yourself crazy. I'm gonna eat my food. Do what you want to, cause I'm gonna shit it out and throw it in your face, right? Anyway, right? So, I lived a nasty life,
So let me ask you this, if you can remember, what's the funniest thing you ever seen in there? Something that you seen just
that little bitty guy that it's funny how the one I told you killed them kids.
Jockey.
Yeah, that midget.
Yeah.
He's a midget. He wasn't not more about. I say he was about 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall. He was the size of a 4-year-old child, right? And he was in prison, and he talked so like a kid, right? He said, hey, I got cash money. Everybody said, oh, we in church. Let's hear it. Yeah, I made parole. I ain't got nowhere to go. That lady just cried. She said, well, you come here.
What was y'all thinking when y'all heard him say it, though? Was y'all laugh? Did y'all laugh?
No, man, we was, he made parole. We was like, hallelujah. We didn't know he was a monster, right?
Yeah.
Hallelujah, man. He said, yeah, praise Jesus, praise Jesus.
Didn't nobody mess with him, though? Because he's so small?
No, man, they would have killed over him. He's like a kid, man.
Okay.
It's like seeing a little child in the prison, man.
He was protected then.
Yeah. He said, praise Jesus, praise Jesus. She said, I'm going to take you home. He went home and killed all her kids. 3 of them. Put them in an oven and all that shit. Then when he come back to prison, he's like, they said, that little bastard. Everybody want to kill him now, right? And one guy knocked his nose off, the whole nose. Well, they hate him so bad, they can fix his face up. They give him a piece of toilet paper to put over it. And if you sitting in the kitchen and you trying to eat, you say, oh man, look at this shit, man. Why don't you, man, get out of the kitchen? And you got the one guy that tried to blow his head off, stuck the shotgun up on his chin. It didn't kill him. Now his whole face is disfigured, no mouth, like, and he's sitting in a dining hall. When you eat, you just gotta look at your table. You don't even want to look at none of them. He's like, oh God, man, I don't even lost my appetite. Well, over time, you get used to it. It won't be nothing.
What strange things do people do to pass their times in prison that we wouldn't think of?
Gamble. Prison is big on it. They do more gambling in prison than they do in Vegas, brother. Believe that.
Last question before we get out of here. What moment broke your heart the most in prison?
That moment when I had seen a little guy, he's a little black guy, he had flat foot, and he couldn't back up. If he backs up, he'll fall. His feet were so turned, like, and he walk around, pick up cigarette butts and stuff, and I took care of him, man. And somebody killed him.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Hey man, they was mad about I didn't put that Linda Dynamite photo up. What you think about that?
I think the photo is in my past, and that's where it's gonna stay.
That's what's up.
If somebody wants to see that photo, tell them to put up some money.
All right.
Mind blowing. Another night, same chase. Trying to get out of my mind. I've been running from myself all night. Pop a little something just to feel alright. Darkness over me when I kill that light. I get that shit in me and take flight. I've been lost in the smoke I chase. Empty bottles crawled in empty space. Doing this shit makes my heart feel fake, but I still go back cause I can't escape. Blood is how on my post go wild. Took one hit, now I'm floating like a cloud. Thoughts too loud, so I quiet them down. With a pill, with a sip, with the lights turned down. I ain't proud, but the truth don't lie. I've been getting high just to get by. My soul cries cause it knows the pain. And my heart beats when it's in my veins. Feels good till it don't. And the room starts spinning. In the mirror show a man who dying and sinning. I ain't trying to glamorize this life, ain't pretty, but it's all that I know in this cold built city. I've been running up, I've been running from myself all night. Pop a little something just to feel alright. Darkness over me when I kill that light. I get that shit in me and take flight. I've been lost in the smoke I chase. Empty bottles crawled in empty space. Doing this shit makes my heart feel fake, but I still go back cause I can't escape. Chasing highs like I'm racing clocks, trying to freeze my time when my mind gets lost. Another night, another pill I toss. I start to struggle, but I still get crossed. Got friends who numb the same way I do. We don't talk about the pain, we just see it through. It costs and I feel like I'm drowning in a pool, but the rush in my blood say, run that back, fool. I know I'm breaking down, I ain't blind to signs. I'm starting to see my body outline lines. Sometimes I think I'm done, then I fall right back, cause it feels too real when my world fade black. I've been running from myself all night. Pop a little something just to feel alright. Darkness over me when I kill that light. I get that shit in me and take flight. I've been lost in the smoke I chase. Empty bottles crowded in empty space. Doing this shit makes my heart feel fake, but I still go back cause I can't escape. I don't wanna feel this forever. I don't wanna drown in the pressure, but the high keep calling like mom's checking on me, and the low keep waiting at the end of the road for me. I've been running from myself all night. Pop a little something just to feel alright. Darkness over me when I kill that light. I get that shit in me and take flight. I've been lost in the smoke I chase. Empty bottles crawled in empty space. Doing this shit makes my heart feel fake, but I still go back cause I can't escape.